Hi everyone, Minskul here, and before you even begin to watch this video, just a quick disclaimer. This is literally the next killer and survivor leak. You will see their design, their perks, their power. It's not a video, it's just images, but I'm just warning anyone that doesn't want to ruin their, their fun, the anniversary. Either way, in 10 days you will see it on the official live stream. So yeah, I decided not to do the thumbnail clickbaity, thing, just to save up some spoilers, okay? So anyways, today Leaks DBD decided to drop everything. I'm shocked. We got to see the new survivor, part of the lobby, which is different, and the new killer and all the perks. Now, I don't know if there's any map. I have no image of it. I am just going to show you what they showed, and it's crazy. So let's start with the survivor. This is Haddie Kaur. You will remember her from like the lobby, the archives thing. She has like magical powers. She is Indian as well, which you can notice on her attire as well. And yeah, she looks cool. I mean, I guess she looks unique. But anyways, I think most of us are interested on the killer, and holy, is it a good design. Like visually, one of the best. So this is the Dredge. And as you can see on the icon, it looks like a monster. It's so cool. I will show you the full body image. So difficulty moderate. A manifestation of the dark thoughts of a once vibrant community, the Dredge is able to teleport between lockers and summon an overwhelming darkness. And then the perks that we will talk about in the future. So wow, the design is cool. So let's see the image in-game, and there he is. So he's a monster. He's literally a dark cloud of smoke or something, and there's like meat coming out, and there's a mouth. He reminds me a lot of the Amnesia servant, I think he's called. No, the Grunt. The servant Grunt. He reminds me a lot of that. He also reminds me of the corpses that we can find in the Silent Hill map as well. Oh, I said the C word. I hope I don't get demonetized. Anyways, this is amazingly crazy. He's the best monster design we had in DBD. The only one we have is Demogorgon. And then we have Nemesis. You can count him, you cannot. He's so cool. So this is his power, Reign of Darkness. So I'll read everything. Like a dark thought, the Dredge is difficult to shake, and when night falls, it is nearly impossible. Special ability, the Gloaming. This is the locker thing that was leaked, by the way. Press and hold the power button to activate. Once activated, the Dredge leaves a remnant behind. Aim at the locker and press the ability button to teleport into it. Press the attack button to return to the remnant. The remnant is disabled when teleporting to a locker or when a survivor touches it. So that's counterplay. While in a locker, aim at any other locker and press the ability button to teleport again. Each teleport consumes a power token. Exiting the locker or returning to your remnant will activate the Gloaming's cooldown, after which all power tokens are recharged. Survivors can place locks on lockers to slow the Dredge exiting them. The Dredge can break locks by exiting the locked locker or performing a base attack on the lock. Each locker can only be locked once. So this is part 1 of the power, and it's basically a locker teleport. So I already see problems with this power design. We'll talk about that later, okay? I just want to show you the leaks, and then you can leave the vid, and the only people I want to say is the people that want to hear my opinion on this. So anyways, special ability, Nightfall, and I wanted an ability like this for so long. The Nightfall meter builds up when a healthy survivor is injured, a survivor is hooked, or the teleport power is used. The Nightfall meters also fills faster for each survivor in the injured state. Once the Nightfall meter is full, Nightfall begins. During Nightfall, survivors must navigate in total darkness. The Dredge teleport is faster with a shorter cooldown, and there is no theory radius. Nightfall ends after 60 seconds. Survivors destroying the remnant also reduce the time of an active Nightfall. Basically, you don't see anything, but this guy will be creeping out of you. Depending on how loud he is, this will be probably one of the scariest powers in the game. And wow, it's so cool. Like really, it's really cool. Now let's talk about the perks, and then we'll talk about my opinion. So first of all, survivor perks. It's on the bottom, so I'm going to start from the left to right, and then we'll see the killer perks. Residual Manifest on the bottom left. Basically, after a successful killer blind action, the killer is affected by the blindness status effect for 30 seconds. This perk grants the ability to rummage through an opening chest, open once per trial, and will guarantee a basic flashlight. So this is basically pharmacy, but instead of a medkit, you get a flashlight, and also you get boosted by blinding the killer by giving them blindness status effect, which is so funny. As of now, I think it only prevents the killer to see generators and hooks when you grab someone, like when you pick up someone. I don't think this will affect the pig's ability to see the jigsaw boxes, because her own, when survivors are afflicted, it doesn't affect her. Now I don't know about Sadako. I am not sure if she will be unable to see her things. I think Trapper won't be able to see his traps, and you know, the rest. I think this is a really interesting perk. I think it will mostly be used for the basic flashlight to stock up on that stuff. And I think it will also do a good combo with Blast Mine, since then the killer will be blind. Inner Focus. You can see other survivor scratch marks within 32-meter range of you. Whenever another survivor loses a health state within 32 meters of you, the killer survivor is revealed for 5 seconds. I think it's not that good. We'll see. I don't like the... I mean, it's cool, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one. Overzealous. Very interesting perk. I'm scared of this one. After cleansing any totem, this perk activates. Your generator repair speed is increased by 4%. And this perk deactivates when you lose a health state. So if you break all 5, you get a 20% bonus on repairing speed. That's crazy, but you have to remember, it deactivates when you lose a health state. Now what we're seeing here is the stage 1. That's what I'm scared of. Does that mean 25%, 30? I don't know. It's a high risk, very high reward perk. I don't think it will shake up the meta. I honestly don't know how I feel about this one as well. We'll talk about that later, but Okay, then the killer perks. Septic Touch. Whenever a survivor performs a healing action within your tier radius, that survivor suffers from blindness and exhaustion. The effect lingers for 6 seconds. Again, this perk is tier 1, and actually this is a crazy perk in my opinion. This, like, combine this with Nurse's Calling, Coldrophobia, and Sloppy Butcher. You don't get exhaustion. What does that mean? No Death Hard. I honestly don't know if this perk will be meta. Okay, you know what, you came here for the leaks. Let's see the next one. Dissolution. Every 3 seconds after injuring a survivor by any means, Dissolution activates for 12 seconds. The next time a survivor fast vaults over a pallet inside your tier radius, the entity will break that pallet at the end of the vault, and this perk deactivates. Kinda interesting, really cool. We'll see the next one. When you open a locker, the auras of all survivors within 16 seconds, within 16 meters of any lockers are revealed to you for 3 seconds. This perk has a 30-second cooldown. Another crazy perk. So, that's all that's leaked. Now I'm gonna talk about my opinion about every single thing. If you wanna leave, you can leave now, no issues. So let's see. First of all, survivor design. I don't care about it much. I have a main, which is Kate and Ace. I am not going to change to Haddie. I mean, it's cool. I guess it's cool. It's more representation of more countries, which I honestly want. I want a Spanish survivor sometime, please behavior. Or killer, I don't mind. But yeah, it's cool. Indian representation in DBD. I'm excited to see the cosmetics as well. Then we have the killer design. Wow, it's so good. Like, the design is so crazy good. I want to see the animations of this thing, like how it's going to work, how it's going to look in movement, because it looks already cool, and this is a static image. I really like the eye behind. I like the school. You can see in the image that it has a school behind. That's so cool. And it kind of reminds me also of The Forest. If you have played the survival game The Forest, it kind of reminds me of that thing, like the mutation. I'm really excited for this guy. Honestly, I'm super hyped for this guy. I would rather have this guy than any other licensed killer except Springtrap. I'm not joking. I would rather have this one than Jason. It's so close to Amnesia. Like, it's so close to... And I really wanted an Amnesia killer in the game. It's so cool. Now, the power for this guy. So, I don't know. I like Nightfall. I want to see it in game as well. I can't make an opinion, or I can't put it in a tier list. I'm telling you right now, it has no chase power, which is good. It's different design. I am happy for that. But he kind of reminds me of Sadako, and I don't know if he will be on the same tier as Sadako. Now, he has the teleport to lockers. My issue with teleporting with lockers is that it's map dependent. And for example, in the swamp map, that's like the worst for lockers. If you play Huntress or Trickster, you know what I'm talking about. There's almost no lockers in the swamp, and that's an issue. There's no lockers almost in a lot of maps. And when you spawn in a locker, normally lockers are placed, unless it's an indoor spot, lockers are placed in jungle gyms. And for example, in Shelter Woods, the only lockers there are the basement ones, the shack ones, and then in the loops. I think survivors will be able to react in time. I think this is definitely the weaker part of his power. I think it will only be used for map mobility, just like Sadako. But I think Sadako is better at the teleport because they are in spots where generators are. She has no issue with like map dependency, and this killer has a huge issue with map dependency. But then there's Nightfall. Nightfall is interesting. You build it up by playing well, which is good. It's like Oni. And also, even if you play bad, for example, if a survivor is really good and they play safe and they won't let you get Nightfall, you can teleport and get it either way. That's good design. That's really amazing. Now, Nightfall looks extremely interesting. It's basically you don't see anything, and this is what I want to see in game, because this depends, and this is what makes this killer good or bad. If the Nightfall is really strong and it's anti-loop, like survivors can't loop you because they don't know where you come from, if he's silent as well, that's a really important thing. Like for example, Oni and Demogorgon are loudest, like you know where they are. If this guy is silent, this could be an amazing, super fun, oh my god, the ambulance, super fun perk, power, sorry. Now I'm really excited for the add-ons as well. Let's see what kind of add-ons this guy has. It looks really cool. Now, another thing that I didn't talk about, and it's the survivor counterplay of placing locks on lockers. I like that it's only each locker once. Maybe there's an add-on that prevents that entirely. I don't know, maybe it punishes survivors for interacting with lockers, but that's cool. That's really cool. I like the counterplay, and I like that it's not completely ruining the killer because it's only once per locker. That's cool. Now, let's talk about the perks. So let's start again for survivor perks. Residual Manifest, the flashlight one. Really interesting. I don't think the blindness is going to be that useful. I think it's going to be bothersome but very niche. And Lightborn is gonna counter this perk completely, which is really cool. But yeah, the main issue I see with this one is how it affects some killers more than others, which is one thing that I don't like, but we'll see about it. Inner Focus, again, I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's definitely the weakest one. I might be wrong, I don't know. Overzealous, really interesting perk, but I am scared that this is going to become another perk that Survive with Friends pick up, and one guy decides to do all totems, right? And I don't know if, because it says any totem, does that mean that Pentimento totems as well? Does that mean that you can get 40%? I have no clue. I'm worried about this one, because really good Survive with Friends that body blocks the guy that is like the VIP, you know? The one that gets small game and counterforce, that's kinda dangerous, honestly. I don't like any perk that boosts survivors' repair speed. I don't like that. Now, Septic Touch. What an amazing perk. I definitely think this will see its use. Why? Because of the popularity of Circle of Healing. Because this also ruins medkits. It's not only when you heal someone else. It's when they perform the healing action within your terry radius. This is crazy. It's literally, it's anti-death hard, and it's blindness as well, which I know a lot of people don't think blindness is a huge deal. If you use Fearmonger, you know this is actually crazy, and this looks like a really good perk. Like god, this solution, I want to see it in game. I don't want to make an opinion about it because it looks interesting, but I normally break pallets, and it's all activates for a limited time. We'll see. It looks really strong. Honestly, it's on paper it looks really strong, but I want to see it in game. Darkness Revealed, really interesting, really niche perk. With Trickster, for example, with Huntress, since you will be opening lockers, this perk might be good. It's 16 meters of any lockers. I think honestly, this perk sounds really cool, really good, and I also think this will be, again, it will suffer the same issue as the other killer power, where lockers are dependent of the map. In the swamp, this perk is useless, but then in, for example, Levies or in RPD also, or in other maps where there's a lot of lockers, yeah, this perk is kinda good. So that is all. I hope you enjoyed this vid. I tried to make it as short as possible, and yeah, thank you for watching. I'm really excited to see your opinion on this, and we'll talk about this in the future. Thank you for being in my channel, and have a nice day.